Hi friends, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Abair, and this is where I share my insights. And today I'm wondering, is self-improvement real? There's an entire industry, and you may be left with the impression that there's something you can do to fix your life. But I think fundamentally, we're not broken. So let's dive into this self-improvement world and see what we might learn about it. Stick around. There are so many resources out there which can lead you to believe that self-improvement is a thing, that you can effort your way to a better life, better conditions. And I begin to question that, because self-improvement would imply there's something wrong with you. And I question that. And I also go round and round with myself asking, okay, who is doing the improving? And who is that which needs to be improved? You see, when they're one and the same, how is it that you can do anything? I think we've got this confused. We're going at it from an angle which seems futile. I think what we're mistaking for self-improvement is mere evolution. We are seeing things evolve, and evolve on their own. And these same principles are often applied to spiritual teaching, as in, you will attain something. It is a getting there sort of way of looking at life. But when you get into the nuts and bolts of evolving towards potential, the minute you find a cap to potential, it is no longer potential. So nobody's realizing their fullest potential. I don't think potential has a fullest. I think potential is infinite. And we are witnessing the evolution of it. And a so-called spiritual journey is a falling in love. The same kind of principle might be applied to the so-called manifestation gurus or manifestation industry. Lots of talk on the internet about the law of attraction and what you can do to bring better conditions into your life. And I think this has nothing to do with doing. This has something to do with the fact that you are falling in love with yourself. And although it may appear that this video is an aid or a technique, or I am teaching you, I don't know how to teach anyone how to fall in love. I can't even teach myself to fall in love. I can't fall in love with just anything and anybody. I can't make myself fall in love immediately or slowly. Love doesn't do anything. That's the key. And we're talking about evolution, which simply is a process into and of itself. And as you fall in love, you fall in line. You fall in line with the truth that reality is unchangeable, that you are unchangeable, and that there's nothing wrong with you, and that you will understand that falling in love in a true sense means you are falling in love with yourself, with the universe, and everything just as it is. And the self-improvement industry leads you to believe that you can fall in love with as it will be. The manifestation gurus often will imply that you will fall in love with having a lot of money. You will fall in love with a future. Many people have fallen in love with their past. That's called nostalgia. But I don't think you can fall in love with a concept. I can't fall in love with future me. And I certainly cannot hold on to and love past me. So what I must learn to do is fall in love with me now. Not with the idea of me. And if you have a hard time sort of loving yourself, as they say, I want you to look at your perception of the universe. Is the universe fucked up? If the universe is fucked up, chaotic, and life is unbearable, it's hard for you to fall in love with it until you fix it, right? But you have already done this. If you have a child, you love them no matter what they're doing, who they are. Their children are a big fat mess. So are dogs. My dog is a big mess. Stinky. She makes noise. She needs things. She crowds me out in the bed. She's hot. And I love her because she's so goofy and imperfect. I love her just the way she is. And in turn, that love aligns with the evolution of her becoming a smarter, more obedient dog. And that's what this is all about, is falling in love with yourself just as you are. And falling in love with the universe just as it is. I know it seems like the so-called world is completely screwed, completely on a crash course with doom. And you'll fall in love with it. You're going to fall in love with the mess. You're going to fall in love with the quirkiness, the weirdness. And I can't show you how to do that. I don't know how to teach someone to fall in love. So how can this be teaching? How can any of this be self-improvement when you are simply beginning to fall in love with yourself? The universe. If you examine everything in your life, all the conditions, all of the messy conditions in your life, if you haven't fallen in love with that as it is, there's no hope for anything called self-improvement. None. To see the fullness of it as it evolves must be loved fully now, as it is. You see, you're not fixable in the present moment. That's because you're not broken. You're fixed. This whole thing is simply beyond anything you can do because there is no doer. There is no doer. There's no improver, and there's no one to be improved. Your hands are off this thing. And that's what love does. Love falls back into it, hands open, in complete submission to it. And as you fall in love with your truth, as you fall in love with reality, as you fall in love with the universe, more and more reasons to fall in love come to you. Playfully. See, the universe is powered by love. Even fear is powered by love. In many manifestations of fear, we do it because we love. We love our lives. We love being alive, and we do everything we can to keep it from dying, but we know we can't. True love welcomes death when it's time. Because death will be a relief to you at some point. And love relieves. And it keeps falling and falling and falling. And no matter what, it's just as it is. That's like the Billy Joel song. I love you just the way you are. And it takes a while to get a knack for that. Because initially you see all of the bruises and the scrapes and the outbursts and the anger and the addictions. I'm telling you, you can love that too. You have to fall in love with it. And nobody on the internet can tell you how to fall in love with truth. And that's what an awakening is. A deep dive. Head over heels. And you flip this thing upside down. And who you thought you were as the boss is nothing. There's no boss. There's no dominant force pushing your life and fixing your life. And you can't fix what's not broken. You can't fix what's not fixable. But you will and you are falling in love if you're hearing these words. Allow yourself to continue to fall in love with your irreducible nature. That which binds it all together, even the messy parts. I don't understand how it works. But it's all necessary. It's all bound together in love. And the more you fall in love with who you are just as you are, the more improvement comes your way. And if I could tell you how that is done, I would. I would make the whole world fall in love with itself. Like this. But I have no power against it. I'm just noticing how in love I am with the universe. And that's my take on self-improvement. I'm not doing this. Love pulled me in, and I fell for it. And it was the best trip of my life because it lasts forever. My name is Ryan Hebert. I hope you enjoyed the way I think, and if you do, I would appreciate it if you checked out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com, and we'll see you next time.